So today is an exciting day. I am going to give you a quick preview of some of the upcoming Xbox Series X hardware. Now, I'm kind of limited on what I can show you at the moment. As you know, they've begun to trickle out, but there are restrictions on what we can talk about at different moments in time. However, this is something I can show you and I think you're going to be interested in. In front of me, I have the brand new controller for the Xbox Series X. So I'm going to do a quick comparison. Believe it or not, I know at first glance it looks a lot like the old version, but there are some changes that have taken place. I've also got on the desk the expansion card. This is a 1 terabyte module for expanding the storage on your Series X. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and actually show you how that inserts into the system as well. Let's kick it off with the controller. The shape of it is nearly identical to the old version. I picked this up and then this one, and it's going to be a very familiar place for anyone who's ever held an Xbox One controller. However, upon closer inspection, you start to notice the differences. First, for me at least, was the D-pad. So the D-pad has changed into this sort of circular piece with these little ridges as opposed to having the typical cross setup, and it's got a slightly more tactile clickiness to it as well, comparatively. Now the other thing you're going to notice on the front of the controller, and again I can bring in this white one, also from the Xbox One to compare, this button in the center here, that is going to be your share button. This button is going to allow you to share directly from your Xbox, whether it's a screenshot or a clip of your gameplay. Otherwise, the other two buttons on the front are the same as they were in the past. Now the other thing that struck me immediately was a slight difference in texture. The new model has a real grippiness to it. It's got these micro dots on it that gives it a gritty feel almost, but it's going to give you some confidence when you grip onto it. The previous version had something similar, and maybe once I use this more extensively, it would end up being a little smoother like this, but for the time being, this has a grippier feel to it. Another difference on here is up on the top. So now we have USB Type-C for connection. Oh, actually, maybe that's why I felt that this one was grippier, because the triggers have grips on them now too. If we run this comparison top to bottom, these were glossy on the old model. Now the triggers have a similar texture to the rest of the controller. Getting back to the USB Type-C connector, of course they had to modernize it. It was micro USB on the old model. However, they opted to still go with removable batteries. How you feel about this, it depends on how you use your device. You can, of course, still pick up a charge kit for this controller. It's around $25, which will put rechargeables in there and then allow you to take advantage of the Type-C connection. But in a pinch, just like has been the case for Xbox controllers for a while, you can throw AA's in there and get some battery life when you need it. The bottom of the device remains roughly the same as well for your audio connection point for your headset and whatnot. And then the other difference is on the Xbox logo itself, which, as you can see, is just the styling is just a little bit different as well. So that's pretty much everything I can tell you about the new controller for the moment. That will change as embargoes lift, and I can go into more detail on the rest of the hardware as well. But next up, what I am allowed to talk about is the expansion unit. So this little guy right here, which is not all that much bigger than like an SD card, is actually 1 terabyte of very fast storage provided by Seagate by the looks of it. And you can see right here, it is 1 terabyte of storage. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to be running their games off the internal drive and therefore are going to be interested in expansion. I believe we actually have a price on this thing too now. I think it's going to be $219, and I can very quickly show you how it inserts into the system. I can't turn it on at the moment, so as mentioned, it's a quick preview, but over here you have a storage expansion location near your HDMI port and your USB ports. There's a protective cap on here. You remove that, it uncovers this metallic. It all feels very sturdy and structured. And then this just slots in. A little bit of it still hangs out. I don't mind it. It actually makes it easy to grip and remove and take with you if you choose to, or to potentially have multiple storage devices if you're crazy and just have a huge library of games. So this is going to be small convenient, fast storage, and a superior solution. You will need to pay for it, but a more portable solution than carrying around a portable external drive and then just connecting that via USB. So there you have it, a quick preview. More Xbox Series X content to come, so make sure to subscribe for that. But for now, that's a quick glimpse at the upcoming controller for the Series X and the expandable storage.